Chris, congratulations. You've recently won the inaugural Pride of New Zealand award. It's a recognition for your contribution to football over the years. How does it feel?
Look, yeah, it's a lovely award to win. It's nice that I've been able to be recognised for what I've done over here in England, and especially sharing the night with other famous Kiwis and successful Kiwis that have based themselves over in the UK.
Yeah, you received the award at what was described as a banquet dinner in London, as you just mentioned there. How was the event itself, and like you say, being around other key figures from New Zealand?
Look, it was lovely, yeah. It was nice to spend some time around New Zealanders. Don't get many opportunities to do that other when I go away with national team. But it was nice to interact with people that I don't normally interact with and have familiar faces and familiar sounds as in the accents around and things like that. And then get a taste of home with the food and the wine, and it was a very good night.
The New Zealand Society mentioned how you've put New Zealand on the global map as an exceptional leader. As one of the few New Zealanders in the Premier League over recent times, how aware have you been about having that kind of impact back home?
Look, yeah, it's very nice that they speak like that. It's one that I know I have a big role to play in with what I do over here, and how far it reaches back home, which is nice. And I think anybody growing up, when you get to a certain level and things like that, you just want to inspire the next generation. We want more Kiwis playing in the Premier League or playing at high levels around the world, and we've got a lot that do it. But hopefully there can be a lot more coming after seeing what can be achieved with Kiwis around the world.
You made a big move as a young teenager coming to the other side of the world to dedicate yourself to football. How important has representing New Zealand been for you along that journey?
It's been huge. I've always wanted to stay true to my home country and my roots and what I love to do. So when I can and my body allows me that I'm available to play, I want to go back and play for my country and be a part of it. It's a massive part of who I am as being a Kiwi, and I don't ever want to forget that. And that's why the times where I get to play internationally is so important to me.
You're currently the only Kiwi playing in the Premier League this season. Do you feel a responsibility to represent the country and show that journey to the top of the game is possible?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've had a lot of Kiwis playing across the world at great levels, but we've only had 6 ever play in the Premier League, and that's something you've got to be extremely proud of. And yeah, I want to inspire other people to be able to come to this country and do what I do and play in the Premier League. It's regarded as the best league in the world, and that's where everybody aspires to be. And it's just about showing them that it's possible.
And you touched on it there, but when you look back on your journey, how proud are you of everything that you've achieved so far?
Look, yeah, I'm very proud. It's not often I get to sit back and take in what I've been able to achieve or anything like that. I think when I retire, I'll be able to do that a lot more, because when I look at it, there's always so much more I want to achieve afterwards or going forward in my career. So yeah, I'm very proud of what I've been able to achieve, and hopefully there's a lot more still to come.
And just quickly on last season, which was obviously a standout season for you in your career, do you have a sense of why it was so successful for you personally?
Look, I think it was one of those things, everything aligned in one. We had a team that was doing extremely well, players that suited my type of game, a manager that bred me with confidence from the moment he walked through the door, and gave me that belief to be that main man and that main striker. And yeah, I think it was just a sense of confidence, knowing that I had the ability and the belief in myself, but also having a team around me which is superbly suited to what I was able to do. So it was a bit of everything coming together.
And in every interview, you are very humble about all of your achievements and, as you say, the impact of others around you. But is there anything that you say you did differently in preparation for last season or during last season that gave you that edge, or was it generally, as you described, just all falling into place?
I think it's just all fallen into place. I've always believed that I could do what I did last season in the Premier League, and yeah, it took till I was 33 to be able to do it, but I had the teammates around me who were supplying me with chances. As I've always said, I'm not a man that can beat 3 players and put in the top corner. I'm a man that relies on service and good opportunities to score goals, and luckily in this team we have an abundance of that. So when they were giving me opportunities, it was about doing what I can do and what I believe I can do and sticking in the back of the net.
It's obviously been a much more difficult and different season for you so far this year, for obvious reasons. How have you been coping with being absent from the team?
Look, yeah, it's the easiest way of saying it's part and parcel of football, but it's been frustrating. It's been not a nice time. Injuries isn't great, and the manner of the injury has not been perfect because we've tried different things and had setbacks, and having to go down different routes of surgery and things like that. So it's not been smooth sailing. But what in life is ever smooth sailing? You never get the highs all the time. You have to suffer through the lows, and that's how you come back stronger and better. And I believe I will. I'm doing everything I can to be back stronger. And it's one of those. It's frustrating not being able to help the team, especially when I'm watching on the sidelines and things like that, and knowing I could potentially help if I was involved. But I've got to just make sure I get myself right, get myself ready, so I can then help the team when I get back and fit.
And how is your recovery going at the moment? Presumably it is a case of kind of taking it day by day and not trying to get too far ahead of yourself, but also there's a lot to play for this season for, on every level. So yeah, how are you kind of managing that?
Look, yeah, it's an interesting injury to deal with. I know it's going to be, at the start, it was going to be longer than I expected. But it was one of those, I just have to deal with it and move forward. It's getting better day by day, which is great. Had some positive news yesterday from the surgeon to say I can go on to the next stages and things like that. So it's better for my rehab now. So yeah, I'm thinking that I need to work hard to be able to get myself back fit, right, ready for the end of the season, and then on to the off season and into next year. So there's a lot that hangs on it and plays on it, but also I got just got to do the right things to get back fit and ready.
As an experienced player, do you feel like there are still things that you can do to help the lads during the season, even while you're not playing?
Yeah, well and truly, it's stuff around the training ground, around the dressing rooms, confidence, talking with the players, keeping them upbeat and things like that. An environment off the pitch is just as good as an environment on the pitch. So that's what I try to give to the players when I am injured and not around as much. But yeah, it's certainly just frustrating that you can't help on the pitch as well. But hopefully I can get back playing and then I'll be helping on the pitch as well.
You must also be looking forward to the World Cup this summer. What would it mean to you to walk out as the captain of your country 16 years on from your FIFA World Cup debut in 2010?
Yeah, it'd be huge. It's something that I've always dreamed of, going back to the World Cup after South Africa back in 2010. So yeah, it was a massive part when we qualified to know that we're going back there. So a lot of it's geared up for that as well. So that's another thing that I want to be fit for, as well as the run-in for the rest of the Premier League season and hopefully the European campaign that we'll still hopefully be involved in. So yeah, there's a lot on the horizon which will be fantastic to be a part of, and the World Cup is definitely one of them.
It's just been announced that the All Whites will be facing England in the build-up to the World Cup. Is it extra special to take on a country where you have played so much of your career?
Yeah, it is. Coming up against England will be a great occasion. A very tough opponent for us. I was speaking to Elliot this morning about it and saying how good it's going to be able to play up against fellow teammates that we play with week in, week out. So it'll be nice in that sense. But I think we've always wanted to pit ourselves against the best, and England is definitely one of the best and one of the favourites for the World Cup. So it'll be a good experience for sure.
Well, congratulations on the award, and we all look forward to seeing you back on a pitch soon.
Perfect, and thank you.
Cheers, Chris.